You already know we're all about those good vibes here. Gotta light up a candle, set the mood nicely, especially when we're getting into the updated YouTube studio. What is going on, everybody? If you're new around here, my name is Finn Badgley. I'm a commercial fashion portrait photographer and all-around content creator. And today we're talking about my new and improved, still on a budget, YouTube studio and some of the things that I did to get the look that you're currently seeing. Now, if you've been following me on this channel for any length of time, you will notice that probably over the past couple months, my setup has changed quite a bit. It's gone through quite a few different changes, different iterations, and I think I've finally landed on one that I'm kind of happy with. So I'm gonna break that down for you guys today, show you how I did that, what I got going on here, and then maybe give you an idea of how you can structure your YouTube studio to be similar, the same, something like that. If you saw my last YouTube studio video, you would know that my main light was a newer, still don't know how to pronounce that, newer. I'll get it one day. I'll get it one day. Light panel, that was my key light. And then I had a little Aperture M9 as my little accent backlight type of deal. And since then, a lot has changed. I've got a couple different lights, started playing around with some things. My actual location in my apartment has changed as well. So it's progressed quite a bit, and I figured it was probably time for an update. Now, minus the actual camera that I'm using to shoot this with, all of this together costs less than $1,000 Canadian. Change that into American, we're talking like less than $800, something like that. Also, to give you an idea of the difference in Canadian and US prices, because that's fun. Why wouldn't it be? So first off, we're gonna talk lighting, then we're gonna talk audio, and then lastly, we're gonna talk about the camera that I'm shooting this on and everything that goes into that. So right off the bat, my main key light here is the Genere Portabright Cob LED portable system. I have one of these guys fired through a Glow 36-inch Octabox, very similar in nature to the Aperture Light Dome or Light Dome Mini. Gives a beautiful soft light, especially nice on the face. I have that at about a 3/4 angle, so it's not completely front lighting me. I get a nice little bit of shadow on this side, and it works very well for that. The light is battery operated, but typically when I'm just doing these studio style setups, I do have it plugged in to AC power, as you can do that as well, just so that way I don't run down the battery. If you want to see a full length video reviewing this light, some of the things I like about it, some of the things I don't, and everything in between, I will link to that video somewhere up here so you can check that out. And then additionally, you'll notice a nice little kind of teal backlight that I got going on here. And just out of frame, you can kind of see maybe the arm for it here. I have a magic arm holding up the Nanlite PavoTube 15C. Again, link to that video up here. Make sure to finish this one first and then go back, check out all these different lights, all the different gear, and I'll provide some links in the description down below so you can check out all these different things that I'm talking about here. But I have the Nanlite PavoTube RGB LED light tube there, just creating a nice teal backlight going on behind me, fill in the background a little bit, give me a bit of a separation, that sort of thing. Works very well, very versatile light, I love it. Now, you'll remember that newer, one day I'll get it, the light panel that I used to use as my key light. Well, for a key light for these studio style setups, I like having something larger and therefore softer and a little more powerful, which is where that Genere Portabright comes in. So with that in the equation now, I have transitioned the newer light panel into a backlight slash hair light. That kind of gives me that nice little rim light separation that I got going on from the background here. Gives me a little bit of glow, a little bit of punch, just adds a little bit of mood to everything, and I really like it for that purpose. Also gives a little bit of added ambience to the room, which just works to add a little bit of extra depth to the shot, which is always something that I appreciate. Now, with lighting out of the way, these are the 3 lights that I have going on. If you notice a little bit of light coming down the hallway, just to take out some of that darkness, I just have my ceiling lights on there in the back. Sometimes I have them on, sometimes I have them off. It really depends on the day, so that's less so. We're just mainly talking about the actual studio lights that I have going on here. Now, all of these lights are different from the photography lights that I use when I'm actually doing photo shoots. Those are more flash tubes and that sort of thing. All of these are LED lights, and they are all actually battery powered, which makes this a very portable and easy to maneuver setup, but they can all also go on wall power, AC power, so that way I can have them plugged in and don't need to worry about them turning off during a shot, during a take, because I've definitely had that happen before, and you just kind of don't want that to happen. Then you need to go back and say the line again after you plug them in or turn them back on, or you have to wait for the batteries to charge. It becomes a whole thing. Now, with that out of the way, let's talk audio. When I'm doing these sit-down style videos, I have the Rode Wireless Go 2s. I have that just hooked either on my person, on my clothing, or sometimes like today, I will actually have it on a chain that is just dangling below here. So I am exposing myself for that to show you that's where my mic is hidden. And then that just hooks onto the hot shoe on the top of the camera, plugs into the microphone jack, and the audio feeds through that way. It's a very nice, easy to use system. And again, I have a full review of that, which will be linked up here as well. And that's pretty much what I have for audio. If I'm on the go, I'll use a couple different shotgun mics and that sort of thing. But whenever I'm sitting down, I just like to be laved up and have that going for me. So that is why I'm using the Rode Wireless Go 2s. And now we're talking about the camera, lens, and all that fun stuff. So I have gone between a couple different lenses for this main camera that I have going on here, but the actual camera itself has stayed the same. I am shooting on the Canon EOS R in C-Log, and for this shot here and everything that you've seen from this angle, I am using the 85mm 1.8 EF lens adapted via an EF to RF mount adapter, so that way I can use my EF glass with my Canon EOS R. And in some of my previous setups, I would use something like the 40mm 2.8 or sometimes the 24 to 105. I would go between a couple different lenses for whatever shot I needed, but for me, the 85mm gives me the field of view and the depth of field I want, so it's kind of a no-brainer there. Plus, you can also up the aperture a bit and get a little more light into the camera, which is always handy as well. So that's kind of the main bones of this studio setup that I have going on. And then as far as editing and that sort of thing, I have some Behringer headphones. I'm using my 2015 MacBook Pro. And then as a secondary monitor type of deal, I have my 2020 iPad Air on the side here. And although they don't actually pair because my laptop is like literally 1 year too old, via the Apple AirPlay, I just kind of do whatever I need to between the two, and then the iPad just kind of serves as my secondary monitor if I need to look anything up or anything like that. I can't drag over any windows or anything like that, but that hasn't really caused me any headaches, so it is what it is, and I roll with it. It works for me, and that's all I need it to do. So with all that said, this is my updated YouTube Studio 2021 tour type breakdown video. Like I said, check out all the reviews for the different gear in this video. I even did a review of the Canon EOS R after having it for 2 years, so be sure to check that out as well. Links to everything will be down in the description down below, as I am not sponsored by any of these companies. This is just what I use to get this look, and hopefully you gained some value out of this, especially if you've been looking to up the quality of your YouTube studio setup, and especially if you're like me and like to have a solid, really nice looking setup, but on a budget. So with all that said, if you like this video, make sure to drop a like down below. Leave a comment if you like this kind of thing and you want to see more different YouTube studio stuff from me in the future. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell to be notified when I post new videos so you never miss an upload. Work hard, rest often, and as always, I will see you on the next one. And just one fun thing to add here, the main desk that I'm going off of here, it's just your regular run-of-the-mill IKEA desk, but one thing that I do really enjoy about it is there is this back part here that is a whiteboard. And having been a camera assistant for a little bit, I have a ton of those dry erase markers, so I just keep one Velcroed here to the side, and then that way whenever I get an idea for anything, I can just write it on this here whiteboard, and that way I keep track of everything there. Now also the depth of field on this lens is nice because it blurs out all of that, so you can't see what my little noggin is cooking up. And then also, I guess the candle now is kind of a light, but honestly, I just like having a signature scent in the room. It makes everything feel cozy and is sure to bring the vibes. It's just it. I don't know what to tell you.